certain that this number belongs to Hernandez Govan. Well marked this as exhibit 24. Yeah, we're ready.
Leaders now into the courtroom.
They will call Sergeant Brown.
Mr. Taylor, do you need to enter the,
Oh, yes, sir.
your situation? Just put Sergeant Brown on. Go ahead.
This is entitled Order Stipulating Ownership of 901-618-3848. Whereas there having been presented to me, the Honorable Jennifer Johnson Mitchell, Judge of Division 10 of the Criminal Court of Tennessee, 30th Judicial District at Memphis for the purpose of trial, phone number 901-618-3848 belongs to the defendant Hernandez Govan. The ownership of 901-618-3848 is stipulated by the Assistant District Attorney and the attorney for the defendant Hernandez Govan and shall be entered into evidence by agreement. It is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed.
Thank you. You can call your next witness.
State again, we'll call Sergeant Brown.
Stand right here, sir. Raise your right hand facing you.
Do you swear or affirm the fellowship?
I do.
Sergeant Browning, could you state your first and last name?
Jesse Browning,
And for the benefit of our jurors, could you spell your first and last name?
JESSE BROWNING,
And where are you employed?
Memphis Police Department,
In what capacity?
at the multi-agency gang unit.
And have you attained a certain rank? I call you Sergeant Brown, are you in fact Sergeant Brown?
Sergeant Brown.
And were you tasked with the investigation involving the homicide of Adolph Warren Jr.?
I was.
And how did you become involved with that investigation?
My team was tasked sometime, some of my team tasked sometime in December when it was revealed.
December of 2021?
21, yes.
Okay.
December 21, that there was more than just a simple murder. It kind of turned into more of a conspiracy.
And what did you do as a result of that, becoming part of the investigation?
We just started working the conspiracy into the investigation. It was called detailed records, phones, interviews. It could be all kinds of capacity.
Specifically, did you become involved in the investigation of Mr. Hernandez Govan?
I did.
And what did you do as a result of the investigation? Did you do anything separate from the general investigation?
As far as like Title III or
Did you collect call detail records?
yes, we collected all detail records, phones, you name it, we collected it on this investigation.
And did you analyze those records?
We did.
And what did you do to analyze?
I use a software called PinLink or PLX, which just makes it easier, one, to create reports and then analyze the records. Generally in like, just bring it, because they all come in UTC, you can kind of get the records in like more of a coordinated time. But we also analyze the actual raw records too, just to verify.
And did you prepare a PowerPoint presentation to help explain to the jury what you looked at when you analyzed it?
Yes, it's called detail records and phone.
If we could pass this to Sergeant.
Any objection?
Sure, none.
You look at that and see if you recognize the contents of the envelope.
Yes.
And what does that depict?
It's just a thumb drive. It's got my PowerPoint on it. It's got my initials, my IBM on it.
All right, if we could have it entered into evidence as the next number.
We just asked when the PowerPoint was created for completion sector that exhibit.
What do you say?
When was the PowerPoint completed completed?
The final parts of it with the specifically the records was yesterday. I would say one of the extra.
And Your Honor, again, exit is entered into evidence as the next number.
This is an envelope containing what's being described as a thumb drive. It has Sergeant Browning's name on it, PPT. Red thumb drive on the inside. We'll mark this as exhibit 25.
And for our jurors, this PowerPoint is comprised from exhibits 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Permission to publish.
Yes.
This is your presentation, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, we will go through it. No, it is small. Could you tell us, or if it would be better, if with the court's permission, you can get down and explain what we are looking at here.
Okay, so this is going to be essentially a screenshot of the information associated to Justin Johnson's cellular device. So it's just, I essentially take out the remove the important information for the PowerPoint purposes, like his IMEI, MZs, telephone numbers, things of that.
You named some things we have probably never heard of. Say that again.
So like the IMEI is the number that, it's essentially a serial number that belongs to the device. And then an MZ is generally a serial number that belongs to like your SIM card or your network. So we use those things to compare. And then telephone numbers. As you can see, I think on Justin Johnson, it has like his email address, which has maybe a partial of his name. So essentially, it just shows the things that are associated with that cellular device.
And also for the benefit of our jurors, they will have access to this PowerPoint. And this is Justin Johnson's number in 901-236-1625. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We have another.
Yeah, so this is going to be same information but it's for Cornelius Smith's cellular device, which his last used number for that phone was 901-513-6236. Correct. And then this cellular device is one that belongs to Angela Arnold for the number of 901-370-0185. Primarily has the same information that you can use to compare.
So we have a date of July 27, 2021.
That's correct.
Is there any significance to that number, that date?
For us, we found that was significant from the interview with Angela Arnold, or no, actually Cornelius Smith, I'm sorry.
What are we looking at here?
So on the 27th, you have, essentially, we take the call detail records in the software and we create a hot number list. So a hot number list would be, if you're looking at your phone, for me, it'd be, my girlfriend or my mom or my dad. That'd probably be your typical top 5 callers. It can vary, but it's just showing your top callers and down.
And this is for a particular day.
Yes, so I've filtered it for that actual day. So it's not the totality of the records. It's just for that day. And this telephone number belongs to Justin Johnson, which is 901-236-1625. And then as you see, when we look at the records, his top caller is going to be a number that belongs to Hernandez Govan and shows like 24 communications. The next number is going to be for Anthony Mims, and his telephone number is 901-692-2767. And as you can see, Hernandez Govan on that day, again filtered for the 27th, is around the 8th or 9th call. So it's 7 communications. So the significance for this is that on July 27, 2021, we look at Justin Johnson's cellular device. We find Hernandez Govan's telephone number. As you say, it's labeled Big Bruh Quet, and that was an incoming text message to Justin Johnson, and it's just an address of 4641 Bowenshire, which is still Smoking Memphis. It's a shop owned by Anthony Mims and his business partner, Mr. Lambert. Can you go back? I apologize. And just to note, that time was at 1937-21. And it shows significance because he's getting the text from Govan, and then on the next slide, you'll see Justin Johnson actually sends an outgoing iMessage to an individual we identified as Harry Lockhart, and he just says he's talking to Joe, indicating that maybe he's at the smoke shop and he's talking to Joe. And then you see at 21:08, 43 hours, Anthony Mims creates a phone contact for Justin Johnson, and that contact he labeled as Drop, which is an alias. It's short alias of what we know Justin Johnson to be, just like a short alias we know Jook to be. It usually goes by Big Jook or Jook, and then we've heard referred to Drop, or his actual name that he uses is Straight Drop on YouTube and things of that nature.
So when you say he created a contact, he was putting the phone number into this phone.
Right, he created that contact to be at 7/27/2021, 9/8:47 p.m. He creates that contact, and then, as you see, 21:08, 49 hours, Justin Johnson creates a contact for Anthony Mims' telephone number and labels it Jook, which is the alias. So both these individuals in relatively in the same time frame created contacts for each other. Again, indicating that they're probably within communication distance or in the same vicinity. So this is the following day, July 28th. So after that, and as you see here, so Justin Johnson, his cellular device shows an outgoing, so it's an iMessage to Jermaine Sears. with the address of 3641 Allendale Lane. And then that same day at 17:24 hours, we have an incident at the, it was called the Double R Auto Services, and it's at 821 South Highland Street. And the two victims that just worked at the shop state that a tan BMW is being chased by a burgundy Dodge Charger. Three males get out of the Charger and start firing upon an unknown male and a female who remained in the car. The unknown male in the BMW fled. We were able to later identify that to be one Terrence Baker. His prints had hit on the car, but he never filed a police report or would communicate with officers about the incident at all.
So the victim was Terrence Baker?
Correct. He just wouldn't communicate with us or anyone. And as you see here, the 17:24 hours, that address, the address at the shop, the 821 or 823 South Highland.
I think 833.
It's approximately, I had it on there, I can't read it because it's kind of far, 0.49 miles away. So it's not that far away.
You're talking about this address here, the 30.
So that address is actually 3645 Allendale. He sent a different address. If you go to the next slide.
Oh, before we go to the next slide, you've indicated that the victim of the shooting was Terrence Baker. Does he go by any other name?
Yes, he goes by Wu, or Paper Route Wu.
And as part of your investigation, did you determine him to be a artist on
Yes,
PRE?
he's an artist. Sorry, he's an artist on PRE. As you see, so that here is the actual address, the 3645 Allendale, and the address that Justin sent was right next door. So it was actually 3641. So he just had the address wrong. Here's so later that day, 1804 hours, Mississippi finds the Dodge Charger. Witnesses on the scene say they see three males jump out and run. The vehicle was stolen. They then processed that vehicle, which came back with some APHIS hits. So the fingerprint, when they dusted the vehicle, they had prints come back as to be for Justin Johnson, Rashad Hill, and Cavius Wesley. And then also they located a spent .40 caliber cartridge casing on the driver's side floorboard. And that spent cartridge casing showed to correlate with the cartridge casing found on the scene at the Double R shop over on South Highland Street. And then this is August 13th, so we get to this date from, again, Cornelius's interview. We look at the hot number list. We see that 859-1460, a number that belongs to Govan, had 12 communications with Justin Johnson on that day. It was a top caller.
Before we get there, go back just a bit. So we mentioned Cornelius. Do you know when Mr. Govan or Justin Johnson or Juke's number appeared with Cornelius? You able to ascertain that information?
It would be hard to say just because, we get records for a certain amount of time. So I wouldn't be able to determine. I would be able to say a date just based off records we have, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't communicating prior to that.
If you can or can't, the records that you have, when is the first time that you see any of the individuals appear in Cornelius's phone?
I do not have that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So again, for this, it's the communications for Justin Johnson, and it's going to be on August 13th, 2021. And as you can see here for Justin, he's got 12 communications with Hernandez Govan, who's his top caller. And then this is going to be the same, so another hot number list for Cornelius Smith. Now, the number's different because he had this telephone number, same device, but different telephone number, which is 901-479-3786. I think on his device, it showed that number was last used in September, so that means it's probably sometime he changes over to the number you saw earlier. And on that hot number list, you see Bobby Carter has 33 communications, which is about his third caller. And then Devin Burns is about a sixth caller. And then you have Hernandez Govan with 8 communications, about his 10th caller.
Oh, we see his first one is Angela Arnold.
Correct.
All
And then on this one, we have Anthony Minn's hot number list. And again, it's filtered for just the 13th. And as you can see here, Govan's number 4. I think that's 4 communications. He's actually 10, maybe 9 callers down, because you can see you have a bunch of unknown. And then you have number 2 callers, just a list of numbers. That's usually just information getting from the cell phone company and other things, like other traffic, but actual numbers, he's about number 9, 10. And then on August 13th, at 13:45 hours, we have the 911 call where Terrence Baker's cellular device calls and says that he's at Allendale being shot at and he's hiding. They asked for his name, he refused to give it. He just told them to hurry up, they're coming after him. And then this will be communications with the conspirators that have been with Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith. And then the other individuals, Anthony Mims, Hernandez Govan, and any variation of their other numbers at that time. So as you can see, it's represented in color. Is essentially the light pink is going to be Hernandez Govan, the blue is Anthony Mims, and then on the left it's hard for you to see. I think I've got Justin Johnson is yellow, and then Cornelius Smith is green, just to kind of so you can see the kind of the flow of things. And so essentially on November 2nd, we had Justin Johnson had 7 communications with the cellular device that belongs to Govan, and then he had 4 communications.
And I'm sorry, are these in chronological order on the date?
Correct.
So Justin communicated with Hernandez Govan, then he communicated with Anthony Mims, then he communicated with Govan again, then he communicated with Mims again, and then he communicated with Govan again.
Correct. And then essentially this is just those call detail records, but the actual call detail records, which it's got like service codes, tower information. You'll see it has a version of the IMEI. It won't give you the actual IMEI. They kind of do some equation where they change the last 2 digits so people can't steal the IMEI off the records and create their own kind of their own service or their own account. So, but it just gives you a little bit more information. It can tell you call voicemail if there's multiple users on one call, if they're doing 3-way, and things of that nature. And then again, as you can see, you have Justin Johnson in the yellows, Cornelius Smith in the green, and essentially it just kind of shows the way they're cut, like who they're communicating with, and the kind of the flow in chronological order, how they're talking. So as you can see, Justin Johnson had 7 with Hernandez Govan. Justin Johnson had 4 with Anthony Mims, and then he had 0 with Cornelius. And then Cornelius had 20 communications with Hernandez Govan, but he had 0 with Justin and 0 with Anthony Mims. And then this is just the actual raw records. It just depicts what that is. So at the top you have Justin Johnson's records, and then at the bottom you have Cornelius Smith's records. And again, another report showing that Justin Johnson had 7 communications with Hernandez Govan. On November 4th, he had 1 with Anthony Mims and 0 with Cornelius. And then Cornelius had 2 with Hernandez Govan, 0 with Justin Johnson, or Anthony Mims, and 0 with Justin Johnson. And then these are just the, again, you have Justin Johnson's records that you get from the cell phone company, and then you have Cornelius Smith's records that come with the cell phone company. Again,
For November 5th, 2020.
it's November 5th. And as you can see, it's harder for me to see, but in the yellow and the green, they're kind of throughout the day. But Justin Johnson has 1 communication with Hernandez Govan, 0 with Anthony Mims, and then he has 1 communication with Cornelius Smith. And then if you look on this side, it's Cornelius Smith has 4 communications with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 with Anthony Mims, and then of course 1 with Justin Johnson. And then these are those records that represent that. And then this is November 6th. You have Justin Johnson has 0 communications with Govan. He has 2 with Anthony Mims. He has 1 with Cornelius Smith. And then as you see, Cornelius Smith has 4 with Hernandez Govan, 0 with Anthony Mims, and then 1 with Justin Johnson. And then as you see, these are just the raw records representing those individual calls. Again, November 12th, you have 0 communications with Hernandez Govan. Justin Johnson. Yeah, Justin Johnson has 0 communications. He has 3 with Anthony Mims and 0 with Cornelius. And then Cornelius has 5 communications with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 with Anthony Mims and 0 with Cornelius Smith. And again, these are just the raw records that represent that report. And then November 15th, 2021, you have Justin Johnson has 0 communication with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 communication with Anthony Mims, but he has 14 communications with Cornelius Smith. And then on Cornelius Smith, he has 2 communications with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 with Anthony Mims, and then of course he has 14 communications with Justin Johnson. And then
Raw data.
this is just the raw data. And then November 17th, obviously, is the day of the homicide. So if we look at the hot number list on the day of the homicide, Cornelius Smith hot number list has 12 communications with Justin Johnson. It's about his fourth top caller. He has 11 with Hernandez Govan, and then he has 8 with Angela Arnold. And then if you look at Justin Johnson's, it's harder for me to read that, to be honest, because that's a little far, if you don't mind me
Put
getting
my
my
glasses on, so.
Yeah, because I can't see that far, I guess, through the glass. So on the 17th, Justin Johnson has 15 communications with Govan. It's like his third down if you remove the voicemail. And then you have 12 with Cornelius Smith. You have 11 with Angela Arnold. And then on down, he has 3 with Hernandez Govan and only 1 communication over here on the right with Anthony Mims. So that's just further down the list.
Can you read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just going to be a call log, essentially taken from from Cornelius Smith's cellular device, and it's showing that he's communicating with Justin Johnson. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get down. It's too tight. It's an incoming call, and then as you can see, he's got his contact listed as Little Brud Drop. Interesting. This is an incoming call just prior to the murder, and as you can see, when you look at their raw records, both of their call detail records show their cellular devices on a cellular tower at 1731 Cherokee Boulevard, and they both have the same tower azimuth, which is just essentially a direction on the tower of like a sector. So it'd be like a compass. So 290 would be like, you have cones. And so they're both pointing on the same sector of the same tower, which is approximately 3.9 miles away from 1766 Wild Rose Street, which is where Cornelius lives. And then this is surveillance video of the homicide with Cornelius and Justin Johnson in the photos. And you can see that's at 12:23:01 hours. And Justin will be on the left and Cornelius is on the right. And then Dolph's brother shooting at that vehicle. Here we're showing Cornelius Smith's physical phone extraction, showing that there was no outgoing communications during that time frame. So that his last outgoing communication, and before the homicide was essentially, we had that incoming at 12:04, and then you see from that time period, it's all missed calls, and then he has an outgoing to Uncle Ron.
Let me stop you. The date on the top of this is August the 13th.
My bad.
Should that be November 17, 2021?
Yes, I apologize. It should be November 17th.
But the dates all here correlate.
Yeah, the dates are in the center, and as you can see, they have the times, and then below that, we have his call detail record. The records show so it shows right there at the 1804, so records come in UTC, so
it is UTC.
it's basically like universal time coordinated, so like they send the records, it's always going to be in that universal time coordinate. So we're in central time, so that would be, at this time period, would be 6 hours back. Right now, it'd be like 5 hours back. So it just compensates for daylight savings and things of that nature. So, because they're going to send those records all over whoever needs them. And so it's just easier for the companies to send them out as one format. And so like you'll see on the phone, we've got it -6 on, and that's when I create those reports. I'm actually -6, and so it just makes more sense fluidly. And then with the records, you'll see they're going to just stay the same. So that's going to be the universal time coordinate. And so at 1804, which really was the 1204. It shows the incoming call. And then after that, you see just a list of incoming calls, but then you also see that some outgoing calls. But those outgoing calls are actually just the forwarding service to his voicemail. And you can see that with like the codes on the far right, which is like, I guess, so 02A would be like forwarding no reply, which means the phone is on, it got forwarded. It's just after no reply means after a couple rings, the phone forwards that call. There's other anomalies, like if the phone's off, it does something different, or if it's busy, it'll have a different code or a different service. And then on November 17th at 12:26, you have Justin Johnson has a FaceTime interaction with Anthony Mims at 12:26:50. So that was 3 or 4 minutes after the homicide. And then right here, November 17th, 12:39:07 hours, you have 3 communications at 12:39:07. One is an outgoing call. At 12:39:56, you have an incoming text. And then at 12:40:53, another outgoing call. And then you can see that indicated on the records below. And then if you look at the text, 12:39:56, you go to the next slide. And as you can see, 12:39:57 is that text, which is just Kiana Hooper is sending 4752 Haven Court, the address to her apartment, to Justin Johnson. And then later at 12:47:22, you have Justin Johnson sending 4752 through iMessage to a Jermaine Sears, a number that belongs to Jermaine Sears. And at 12:47:30, Justin Johnson sends another iMessage that says, "Now, bro, I need you now." And then you have a response at 12:47:41. Jermaine Sears sends an incoming text iMessage that says, "On my way." So 12:58:02 is when it begins, but you see Justin Johnson's SUV pull in to the two-lane apartments, or what's it? They got another name. The Gospel Garden Apartments. Then you see Justin Johnson next to Kiana Hooper, and then you see Cornelius Smith, who has the hoodie kind of draped over his shoulder. And they're going into Kiana Hooper's apartment. So this is going to be from Angela Arnold's cellular device. And this is going to be at 13:26:30 hours. And as you see, she has an incoming call from Justin Johnson, 901-236-1625. It's a 19-second call. And then you have another incoming call at 13:28:16 hours. It's a 12-second call. And then you have an instant message that comes in at 1:28:50 or 13:28:50 hours. And then below are the records that coordinate with that, with those, with her phone calls. And these are going to be her call detail records that are associated to her device. And then that text message, which was at 13:28:50, is again the address, which is 4752 Haven Court.
Justin Johnson sent this to Angela Arnold's.
Justin Johnson's device.
Justin Johnson's device.
Correct.
Send it
For
to
telephone
Angela
numbers.
Arnold's
Yes,
device.
yes. Again, here you see Angela Arnold's phone extraction. She gets another incoming call at 13:55:11, and it's a 29-second call, and then that's represented down here at the bottom for her call detail records. And then as you see, 13:56, Angela Arnold arrives in the black SUV at 4752 Haven Court. And I think you see him coming outside as Justin's in the middle with the yellow hoodie. Cornelius has the black hoodie with the black pants. And Keona's just right behind him. And then you see Cornelius get in the passenger side of Angela Arnold's vehicle. So now November 17 at 14:07 hours and 15 seconds, Angela Arnold's cellular device showed an outgoing SMS message to a telephone number that belonged to Justin Johnson. That SMS message stated, "This is C, bruh. Send me bruh number so I can get my phone." That's then followed by another SMS message, which is at 14:13:21 from Angela Arnold's cellular device, and it says Quez number. Then we have November 9th, 2021, or 19th, I'm sorry. And this is just showing that Justin Johnson at 12 in the morning was searching, Cornelius Smith, was doing a Google search for 24-hour AutoZone.
So this is what, like 12:17 in the morning, like.
Correct. Or no, 12:17 seconds, so at 12 in the morning. And then at 12:01 in the morning, you see Justin Johnson shows an outgoing call to a number or Cornelius, I'm sorry. Cornelius shows an outgoing call to AutoZone Auto Parts. That comes back to the AutoZone Auto Parts at 5945 Winchester Road. Again, you'll see 12:09 or 0900 hours. Cornelius Smith's cellular device showed an incoming call that belonged to Justin Johnson, and he has the contact name labeled Little Bruh Drop. It's a 33-second duration call. Then at 12:10 a.m. or 1000 hours, you have Cornelius Smith's cellular device showing 3 outgoing calls to a telephone number that belonged to Hernandez Govan. And you can see again that's labeled bruh for the 901-618-3848 telephone number. And it's an outgoing call. It shows 2 minutes and 40-second duration. You have another outgoing call at 12:18. So the first one was at 12:10. The next one's at 12:18 a.m. It's a 1 minute, 9-second call. And then you have at 12:35 a.m., you have a 7-second duration call. It's an outgoing call. And then below are just the records that correlate with what was on his cellular device. Then on, so 06:47 hours or 6:47 a.m., Cornelius Smith's cellular device showed an incoming call from a number that belonged to Hernandez Govan, and that was 18 seconds long. And then those are the records that correlate with that communication. And then at 0701 hours or 7 a.m., Cornelius Smith's cellular device does a Google search for AutoZone on Lamar. Then at 0703 hours or 7:03 a.m., Cornelius Smith's cellular device showed an outgoing call to a telephone number that belonged to Hernandez Govan. There was no duration on that call, and as you see, like there's no duration on the records, and it does show like an abnormal completion, which could be a various disruptions or problems that just correlates with that call. Again, it's 708 or 0700 hours, 7:08 a.m. He has another Google search, which is the universal car cover. And then later at 1847 hours, there's an image of an AutoZone receipt that's extracted from his phone. And you can see that the capture time was on 11/20/2021 at 6:47 p.m. And then we have December 2nd, 2021. And so Angela Arnold's cellular device showed an outgoing Instagram chat to Anthony Mims. And essentially it says, "What's up, big bruh? I'm trying to get with you. I'm Govan, little homie. You met me before. I'm trying to let you hear my music. If you don't mind giving me a call." And then he lists 901-370-0185, which is Angela Arnold's cellular device or her cellular phone number. And you see it's her Instagram chat for participants, and then above that is Juke the Boss, which is his Instagram. And then that's it.
Your analyzation of the phones, would you say the conspirators or the individuals listed, Justin Johnson, Cornelius Smith, and Juke, would they communicate more to Govan than with each other?
I think that it started as a lot of communications between Govan, but as you saw, as it gets closer to the day of the homicide, those communications then seem to be more between Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson, and not Govan.
And after the homicide?
I would say most of the communication. I know that Cornelius was communicating through Justin Johnson's brother. Justin Johnson was doing something weird with his phone where his brother had the phone, but he was just trying to avoid getting in trouble with his parole. So you see that Cornelius is communicating with his brother. But I don't think Hernandez was communicating with any of them that I know of, or Mims. I think all communication was done with Mims.
Thank you. Could get the Just give me a second. We're gonna have them switch off so we can come on this.
That's okay.
Sorry.
After the homicide, we know Justin Johnson fled to Indiana, right?
Correct.
And he gave his phone to his brother, and his brother was using the phone. So a lot of these calls, his brother was the one using his phone to make it seem like he was still here.
Correct.
So that would be Jamarcus Johnson, Justin's brother.
Correct.
Okay. This PowerPoint slide, you said you just finished it yesterday?
Correct.
All right, so I'm just trying to catch up and go through it today, so I just got it. With regards to this AutoZone stuff, was that mentioned in any of the police reports that had previously been provided?
Police report.
Right, you write down narratives, explanations of what happened.
Supplements, yeah. I mean, that was found late, but I would assume that we would either, it would be in the PowerPoint that y'all were given, or it would be, we might have some type of supplement about the receipt and everything.
I got it. So it was done yesterday. In fact, did you talk to the government about the testimony that's been going on as to what we were looking for as part of the case the last 2 days?
Not in the last 2 days. The receipts and most of that stuff was prior. The records were what I was working. They wanted the records, the November records prior.
Sure.
That's what I worked on.
Okay.
Everything else was pretty much already there. As far as like,
The reason I asked, there's not a single supplement from 2023 in the case. There's nothing. Believe me or not, you know this. You're prepared for it. You're co-investigator on it. Do you remember ever seeing a supplement or a note anywhere that said we have an AutoZone receipt?
I know that there's multiple PowerPoints in the discovery. I'm pretty sure that have that, all those slides. Because most of those slides are taken from, I got those slides from that discovery, most of that information.
You just created it yesterday. I'm telling you, you've done 2 PowerPoints.
I didn't create the PowerPoint yesterday. I created, when I told you, the records from November. That's what I was working on yesterday.
Who put the PowerPoints together?
So
you made this entire 70 pages we just did.
Yeah, a lot more than that, yes.
Okay. The reason I ask is the lead detective in this case said you guys never followed up on any receipts with AutoZone. And I've been harping on AutoZone, and now for the first time I'm seeing this PowerPoint with an AutoZone receipt. Is that right?
Well, probably because we didn't find out about the receipt until much later in the investigation. This was after Cornelius and then actually getting in his phone and actually finding it. So it just took a long time to find that information.
But you guys indicted Cornelius in January of 2022, less than 2 months after this murder happened.
Yeah, I don't think we interviewed him until later.
Well, you interviewed him on December 9th. You do know that, right?
Well, that was an interview where he was not.
Well, did you do that or did you not do that?
Hold on, wait, please.
Okay.
I was not a part of that interview.
Okay.
But where he came forward with the truth, I was there.
The
On
truth.
2 different ones, 2
Okay.
different interviews.
So he came forward with the truth when you were there. The truth.
I was, yes.
Okay. Do you remember him making a statement to you in August? And you were there. It's recorded, so I'm going to play it. Do you remember it? You were the second
He
detective.
made a lot of statements, so you hadn't even played it yet for me to remember.
I'm just asking you because you went through 70 pages of slides with very specific dates and times of phone calls. Do you remember how many times Cornelius Smith made statements to the police?
I mean, I sat in on, I think, 2 interviews.
How many total times did Cornelius Smith talk to the police? You are co-lead
Oh, yeah.
investigator.
I sat in for 2, and I know he had one when he was initially, I would think one when he was initially arrested.
Okay.
Where essentially he didn't say anything, or he might have said he didn't even do it. I
You don't
wasn't
know.
in that interview. I was in the 2 that I had with the prosecutors and his attorneys and everybody that was involved.
After he signed the proffer agreement
Yes,
to be protected and all that kind of stuff with his statements.
yes,
That's the proffer agreement, right?
Correct.
Okay, it protects the person saying it, right?
yes.
Okay. Do you remember a proffer agreement taking place in August of 2022?
It's possible, yes. I don't remember when those 2 proper dates were.
Okay. Before I play that tape, Mr. Cornelius and Angela had both already talked to you all, right?
Correct.
Angela actually supposedly came clean on December 17th of 2021.
Correct.
Told you about AutoZone.
She did not tell us about anything about all that.
Okay, so in the 2017, when she just testified, that would be incorrect about AutoZone.
She did not say anything. I did not see anything in her testimony. I didn't interview her, but I've listened to her testimony.
Okay,
I don't remember her saying anything about AutoZone. I found that out the day Cornelius had mentioned it to us.
when was that?
That would have been later when, in one of those proffers. It was the second one.
Okay.
But he relayed that information to us, and that's when we started looking in his phone for that specific information to see if it was true.
All right, and Sergeant Dabney was involved in the proffers too as the lead agent in this case.
He could have been, I think at some point he had left, but I don't know if it was prior, before, or after. At some point he retired. I'm not sure what that time frame was.
Okay, so you don't know when the lead investigator in this case retired. On the biggest case that Memphis has got with young Dolph, you don't remember that?
He's got his own homicides that he's working. We were embedded in this, working this in a completely different building. Yes, we coordinate with him, but at some point I know he retired.
Okay.
And during the investigation, I don't document the date that he leaves.
Can you go ahead and play?
I know the pictures are a little grainy.
Stop this. That's your voice, right? We're showing
Yeah,
Cornelius pictures, and you say they were a little grainy?
I think so. It was
Go
good
ahead
having
and say it
said.
again.
I'm afraid I know the pictures are a little grainy. Do you know what that
That's you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's keep going.
is? It's from your phone. So you're holding it.
A video.
It was in your phone. It was a video.
Yep, it was a rainy tank. Yep.
What firearm is that?
There's an AK-47, I think. They're the one that just gun.
That was going to hit. Is that the gun that you used
Yep, that's the gun he had, yep.
on the murder?
I guess it's a sign on, but pretty much. Yes, sir.
That's the one you had on Gucci, right?
Yeah, it was the day on Moochie, right here.
The Dolph, do you have that same gun?
I believe so. But he had two of them. He had like, yep, two handguns. Yep.
What is this?
Alright, that's old. It ain't even right, it's not anything.
What about this one?
This old, it's Elsie gun.
What about this? I don't even know what that is, but it was in the gun section.
There's a cop
Alright, stop it there. You were showing him photos, Cornelius Smith, you're showing him photos from his phone, correct?
Mhm.
You gotta say yes or no.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes.
Alright, so he talks about AK-47s, about when he was shooting Moochie or Wu or whoever many people he shot.
Well, he didn't shoot Moochie. He said they went up there to attempt to, but Justin Johnson was holding an assault rifle and was laying down in the back before they drove off. They didn't do anything, but we were showing him the different firearms we had found in his to see. We were trying to find the firearms.
Pardon me for being naive, I know he may not have shot anybody, but when I'm going there with guns and they jam or whatever, and we don't use them, it still is pretty scary to me. So you show him the photos in his phone, right? That's the AK-47, then you go through the photo, that's Angela's handgun, right?
I think he said it was Angela's handgun, but it was photos of guns
Okay.
in his.
And the next thing you say is, I don't know how this photo got in here, it looks like it's a car part. You remember that? Play it again.
I mean, I heard it, but I don't know what it's in reference to unless we saw some car part or
Play it
something
again.
with auto.
It's your
Alright,
voice.
it's old. It ain't even right, it's not anything.
What about this one?
This old, it's Elsie gun.
What about this? I don't even know what that is, but it was in the gun section.
There's a cop
So you said, I don't know what this is in the gun section, it's a car part.
Right.
That was said, right?
Yes, because you can filter on the Cellbrite software, like firearms, right? Because we were trying to find the firearms used in the murder. And when we filtered that, we had some that were so grainy, we weren't sure, but maybe he could clear it up. He said it was a car part.
Okay.
It wasn't really, you couldn't really tell what it
Right.
was.
I appreciate the explanation. You couldn't really tell, but these jurors are gonna watch that receipt, and you're telling us that that receipt is an AutoZone receipt.
It looks like it's got, if you look at the very top, it looks like an AutoZone receipt. It's got the auto part and the zone. It's very difficult to see, I
Sure.
agree. But it looks like an AutoZone receipt at the top.
All right, so that is a great point. You said as part of your investigation, you name it, we collected it, right? You said that to the government when you're talking about how thorough we were?
Correct.
So it sort of kind of looks like an AutoZone receipt. Did you happen to go about 6 blocks that way to the AutoZone headquarters and just say, could you pull the receipts from that very specific location that you told the jurors about to see if anybody purchased anything?
Again, if you look at the receipt in the PowerPoint, you can't, I don't think I was able to tell where it came from. And
All right, so now we don't know where it came from,
we
or
know
it could be AutoZone.
it looks like an AutoZone receipt.
Right, well, I looked,
But it doesn't, you
Your Honor,
can't see the fine
objection
print.
asked and answered at this point.
he's gonna dodge the question, Judge.
I'm not dodging the question.
Objection overruled, and strike the record.
Again, you don't know if that's an AutoZone receipt. We're making presumptions based on a crumply receipt.
You're saying that I don't know it's an AutoZone receipt. I looked at the photo and at the top, you can see the AutoZone part. You can't see when he purchased it or the dates on the fine print, but it appears at the top, it says AutoZone. And it doesn't have all the details, because trust me, we looked at that. We wanted to see what time did this purchase happen? But he said cash. So we were like, well, I mean, can we get video? I mean, we look at these things to try to figure it out, but sometimes all you might have is just at the very top, it says AutoZone.
Yes, it sounds like it's a very difficult job. Did you go to the AutoZone that was addressed and ask them to pull video?
At the time, we didn't have an address.
And you said you looked at the phone and you saw it, you got an address. Did you go yesterday to ask AutoZone headquarters, is there a receipt available?
Historically.
No, not
AutoZone
historically.
or any
Yes
business
or no?
is 30
Judge, I
days.
need him to answer. He's dodging me over and over again. I'm asking
I'm-
simple
No,
questions.
I'm gonna object. It's not
Did
allowed.
you go?
Objection,
No, I did not.
objection.
Wait, she's objected.
To what?
The objection.
Your Honor, if he would allow the witness to actually answer the 15 questions he's asked, he might get the answer that he needs. I'm asking him to let the witness answer.
Let them answer.
Did you go to AutoZone at any point in this investigation? I appreciate the smirk, but just answer yes or no.
No.
Did you go?
Objection, Your Honor, I would ask him,
No.
he's not making.
We don't need commentary.
All right.
Just ask the question.
No,
Answer the question.
I've said no 4 times now. No, 5.
Okay, so we never went to AutoZone to confirm what this receipt might be. Did you go to Pressure World to look through all the cameras that they have at Pressure World?
I did not.
Okay, did anybody do that could magically be on a phone somewhere?
I did not. I was not a part of that first part of the investigation. I did not see anything that had where they went to Pressure World.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
All right.
Thank you.
With regards to the records that you went through with the phone calls and the hierarchy of numbers, we know for a fact that Justin Johnson did not communicate with Hernandez Govan for at least 2 weeks prior to the homicide. The last call was on November 5th, about 8 seconds. Do you remember that?
There's hundreds of records. He's saying they didn't communicate on the phone.
You went through a PowerPoint slide and you put November 5th, so there may have been a call, it was like 8 or 10 seconds. Then we went through the rest of it and there was not a single call between Justin Johnson and Hernandez Govan until after the homicide took place. Do you remember that? Okay. With regards to Cornelius Smith, you said 2 calls were made on November 15th. No calls between Cornelius Smith and Hernandez Govan on the 16th, right?
Correct.
You remember that?
Yes.
All right. And then the 2 calls that you put on the slideshow with regards to Cornelius and Hernandez Govan, one of the calls was 0 seconds, right?
There were calls on there with 0 seconds. Yes.
Right. So, and the other call was 40 seconds and it had a code 11 next to it. You know, it could be 2A, it could be 11.
There were calls with 11, yes.
Okay. With regards to an individual that you had up there that was communicating with Mr. Johnson, Jermaine Sears, during the course of the investigation, remember that?
I did.
Okay. And he helped them after the shooting get the medical supplies and things.
He brought clothes.
Okay. Did he bring bandages and such?
I don't know exactly what he brought.
Okay.
What I saw Justin get was a bag of clothes, so.
What do you mean what you saw Justin get? It's just from the still shots, right? It looks like
Well,
it's bad.
in the video, when Jermaine Sears pulls up, Justin Johnson gets clothes and some other things out of the back of Jermaine's car.
You wanted to talk to Jermaine as part of your investigation, right?
We did.
You did or you didn't?
We couldn't.
Okay. And that's because you called to reach Jermaine Sears and you were referred to his lawyer, is that right?
Correct.
And then his lawyer, all he said is Jermaine's out of town. That's it, right?
Yeah, he's not gonna talk.
Okay. Did he say he's not going to talk or did he say
The
he's out
attorney
of
said
town?
he was not gonna communicate with us. I think we tried a couple times.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with this, please. Just let me know when you're finished.
Okay.
Could I get it back? Please? In this, it says you tried to contact Jermaine Sears. You were referred to his attorney, and he was living out of town. And then, quote, so we kind of let it be.
Who said that?
You said it. This is you. Question, and how did you establish that number was Jermaine Sears? Answer, we use law enforcement databases. There was also some information within the text message that helped to identify him just by his real name and things of that nature. And then we also ended up contacting him to try to talk. Question, on that number. Answer, on that number, we were referred to his attorney and he actually appeared to be living out of town, so we kind of let it be. Remember that question and answer with Mr. Hagerman?
Do we know what you're reading?
I don't remember that question and answer, but I do remember.
What is that a transcript of?
That is a transcript of his testimony
From what? When?
last year's trial.
Okay, well, if you just tell me it's a yeah. But I mean, that's exactly what I said earlier.
What's the question? You've read the testimony. What's the question for him?
The question is, you don't say anything about the attorney said you can't talk to him. You just simply said you advised he was out of town, so you just let it be.
I'm assuming that sufficed in the trial. I mean, I'm telling you now what happened. We can't kidnap somebody and say you're coming with us because we think you committed a crime. We contacted him. He referred us to his attorney. We contacted his attorney. He said he didn't want to talk to us. At that
So
point,
instead,
we
but you
can't
didn't,
do anything.
you didn't say that here, but now you're saying that you remember the attorney said, I'm not gonna talk to you.
I'm gonna object again.
I can only tell you what
And
happened.
ask,
When she was
Sorry.
he's asked and been answered, he's answered to the best of his ability several times. I'm trying to,
what different do you expect him to say?
Just repeat what you said under oath, but okay, we'll move on. With regards to these, the receipt that's on Mr. Cornelius's phone that may be an AutoZone receipt, does he have any other receipts on his phone that you found?
Not that you see the receipt that I found.
Okay, but you looked through all of it, you said you worked really hard. Did you notice any other irrelevant receipts on there?
If there was relevant receipts, I might have seen there are thousands of photos in most of these photos. So usually we find those on the timeline. When we're looking through a timeline at a certain time, which would have been after the homicide, but around the time frame before the car is discovered, then on that timeline we're looking. And if we see him searching on the internet, right, for the cover.
I don't know that. We only picked a certain date. Okay. With regards to the tables with the number of calls, sometimes there's 14, sometimes there's 20. Are those all communications between the phone, be it text message, phone, whatever?
Those on
On your
prior to the
slideshow?
homicide on the slideshow, those are just, most of them are voice, but they're communications. It could be text messages too.
Okay.
Just labeled.
So if there were 22 text messages on one of the day between Mr. Govan and Cornelius, you're aware that Cornelius used to buy ecstasy pills from Mr. Govan pretty regularly.
He stated that he bought narcotics from Mr. Govan.
All right. And you ever had a text with anybody where you say, okay, you say, hey, and suddenly it's 10 texts or 15 texts, just like that?
I don't know what the content of that.
Right, I'm just saying, it's sort of being made out to be nefarious. The 22 contacts would be just a simple text conversation about a guy asking, when can you meet me to come pick up drugs? Meet me here. I'm at the store. I'll come back here. It could be anything, right? You don't know.
I didn't testify to anything of content, just that the communications occurred.
And you also don't know from those communications if there were 0-second communications, voicemail communications, actual calls.
It will show you that, there's actual calls.
Sure.
Or that, call forwarding was picked up, and again, like I stated earlier, it could have which we call no reply, which means your phone is active,
Sure.
right? You could have a non-reachable, right, which means the phone is off, so the phone, it automatically, that code will push it to that call forwarding service. Because it's busy, so if you're on the phone, so the phone, it gives you that information. I mean, it's not gonna give you content or tell you what they're talking about. It'll give you the duration of the call, what type of call it is, or if it's a text message. So it gives you something.
I'm just trying to keep it simple. There's some summary tables where it just sort of had the top 10 list or something, and it's a number of calls.
Oh, hot number list?
The hot number list.
Yeah.
And so that didn't tell us if anything actually went through, if it was a text, it was just how many
Correct. It's
communications
just
we
how
had.
many communications they had on that day.
And we don't know if it's back and forth, if it's one way, anything.
Doesn't list any, it just shows communications for that individual's phone.
Okay. With regards to Justin Johnson, you're aware that Mr. Govan and he were doing music together, music business type stuff together. And there were hundreds, if not thousands, of text messages between those two in the summer of 2021.
I can say that's probably true.
Okay. Okay. With regards, so we've established that he's doing music with them, and you said, yeah, it's probably true. I would argue there were thousands of text messages about music with them. And with Cornelius, there was almost daily contact, even if it didn't make the hot list, where Cornelius would call Govan to go hang out at his house or come get pills.
I don't know what he was doing.
Right, but he did speak to you and said, I hung out with Govan a lot. I used to hang out at his house and stuff.
He said that he hung out at the house, yeah. And then he bought drugs from him.
There were some text messages that you pulled up there. Did you look at a lot of text messages on Mr. Justin Johnson's phone?
I'm sure a lot of us did, yes.
All right. Did you go before July 27th, I think was the first date you went into?
I'm sure we did.
Okay. If I showed you text messages from before that, would you remember them?
I'd have to see him to tell you that, but if you show them to me and I do remember them,
I'll do that.
let you know.
I have some questions, objections for that.
I mean, I vaguely remember something about the student.
I'm gonna admit that in evidence and say that is, text messages from Justin Johnson's phone
And Josh Tate. Yeah.
on, July 9th of 2021.
Correct.
Okay, does that appear to be true and accurate based on what you specifically yourself downloaded to your software on the phone? That's where it would come from.
Yeah, this looks.
Okay, I'll offer that as the next exhibit, Your Honor.
It's just that page or,
Just that page,
and it's two-sided.
it's two-sided. The front side is what matters, but it's two-sided because I was trying to say paper.
I don't know which one is the front.
The front one is the one that's at the bottom dated 7/9/2021, 12/36/46. Does Your Honor see that?
12:40. Yeah, 12:40, 56.
If you flip it around, Your Honor, the top one in the blue says 12/36/46.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm
So
talking about.
this is first page.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm just gonna put a one.
Yes, ma'am.
And put a two. This is a single page of text messages, that's been identified from Justin Johnson's phone. And it's two pages, it's a double-sided page, front and back. We'll mark this as exhibit number 26.
Got a publisher?
Mhm.
Let's see this. Okay, that's great. Okay, I gotta be smarter than this, right? Okay, you go to show your text. Sorry, guys, I can't get it. Robert, I'll let you figure it out. You're at 30. You get to be close to 60 and you just can't figure this out. Okay, I'll just need you to scooch it as we go. All right, so the first text is from TZ to Justin Johnson, is that right?
Correct.
TZ, somebody you guys investigated, right?
Yeah, Joshua Taylor.
Okay. Didn't charge him with anything.
He's deceased.
Okay, but prior to being deceased, you didn't charge him with anything.
Correct.
Go to the next slide. Oh, I'm sorry, scooch down. And so this is Justin Johnson. Can you all even remotely see this? No.
They'll get it during
Okay.
deliberation.
So on July 9th of 2021, Justin Johnson tells TZ, okay, we need to spin on street, excess ham, said Duke for show, pulled up on Dolph now. You see that?
Mhm.
All right, we've already established ham was somebody that Justin Johnson was communicating with because you had it on one of your slides, right?
Correct.
I need a mugshot of him and that was what was shown on the slide, that's his photo.
Correct.
Okay. And then Duke, you know that's stupid Duke on the streets, right?
I don't know. There are a lot of Dukes.
Okay.
And at that time, I think Duke might have been stupid Duke. The one you're referencing might have been in custody at that time. I'm not.
Okay.
But there's multiple Dukes that are in that world that they're in.
Sure.
So I'm not sure who he's referencing.
And
Because
then
there's a Duke that's in their friendship.
sure. And I know you don't know what's referencing, we don't know who's in custody and stuff. There's also serial killer Duke, right? The one that's just, you know about, that's just dumb enough to shoot anybody for
Objection,
anything.
Your relevance.
He's the gang
Stupid dude.
member, I'm just asking.
I mean, I'm working that case, yes. I
Okay.
know who you're talking about.
Right.
I don't think that's a reference.
And then spin on street, what does that mean in gang parlance?
That they're gonna go shoot something up.
All right, so here we have on July 9th, from Justin Johnson to TZ, that we're gonna shoot something up, we're gonna pull up on Dolphin, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's take that one down. When? I know, but I gotta admit the next one, I'm gonna do one more. Oh, okay, sorry, scooch it over, my bad. All right, so the next one from Justin Johnson to TZ is Dolph rented the whole studio out for the rest of the year, call Joke, let's make some, right? That's what it says?
That's what it says.
And that's July 9th, right?
Correct.
Okay, because on the slideshow, we talked about reaching out to Joke on July 31st, but here they're saying, call Joke, we're about to go shoot somebody, possibly Dolph, on July 9th.
It's July 27th, but actually TZ, the text messages aren't in there, but if you have TZ's text messages, you'll see that TZ is the one that made the introduction to Mims, because TZ has a text with Mims saying that I got this rapper. His name is Straight Drop, and you need to meet him.
So you remember that specifically now?
I remember that text, that it was probably in Anthony Mims' cellular devices where I would think you could look, but
And
there's
go-
an actual introduction there.
Okay.
Because Justin Johnson was in jail in May. And so sometime between May and July is when he sends that message. So that kind of gave us a time frame.
I get it, but a few minutes ago, you said he would have met him at the weed shop, or wherever the smoke shop was on July.
Represented and said that, I'm just showing you that specific time frame.
Okay, so if TZ, if you're saying made the introduction to Justin Johnson, the Jook, Govan didn't do that. You just said TZ made the introduction.
I see there's text message where he's making an introduction like, hey, TZ is telling Mims, I've got this guy.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he's introducing as like, I got this guy.
I got you. All right. We can take that down and go to the next exhibit. This next exhibit, Your Honor, will be 3 pages. It's single-sided, so once I go through it, I'll just give you a heads up. They're reviewing it, yes, Your Honor. Deputy? I said 3, I'm sorry, it's 4 pages, Your Honor. I'm just going to hand you a 4-page exhibit for the witness.
I'm familiar with these.
I'll offer that into evidence, Your Honor, as the next exhibit.
He doesn't know what they are.
Okay, I'm sorry, they're text messages from, with,
Let him just ask him questions about
okay,
what.
these are text messages from Justin Johnson?
They are.
Okay, and they're dated July 28th, 2021?
Correct.
Okay, and they're back and forth between him and Cuz Risky?
Yes, Casey Williams.
Okay. All right, could I offer those in evidence now since he recognizes them, Your Honor?
The relevance, I don't know if he's laying the foundation for this.
I think you just have to read it.
Well, what's the content?
I didn't want to-
Messages, I'm having to take your word that they're relevant. Let's lay some foundation.
Okay, I just didn't want
Through
to.
the witness.
I will do that. All right. So on that first page, Justin Johnson is talking to Cuz Risky. They say, okay. Then he says, don't see normal. That's somebody else, right? If you know.
So those are both from the same participant. Okay, don't see normal.
That's from Justin Johnson to Cuz Risky, right?
Yes.
All right.
Or no. No, it's
See where it says
Is this
from?
from Justin Johnson's cellular device?
Yes,
Yes.
everything's from Justin
Okay.
Johnson, so.
Yeah, so, okay, don't seem normal is an outgoing text from Justin Johnson.
And then Risky responds to Justin Johnson, route there now. I think Shad know where that hoe at. I seen him over there before, I think. You remember that? You see that?
I see it.
Who is Shad?
Shad,
Shad?
Rashad Hill
And who is that?
is an associate of Justin Johnson.
Okay. And then on the next page, Justin Kozrisky questioned, don't see normal. You see that?
Yes, I do.
And then Kozrisky says, if you all get a steamer or some LMK, I'm cash you out. I need some. You see that? What is a steamer?
Stolen vehicle.
Okay. So it's Kozrisky asking them for if he's got a stolen vehicle he can pay for.
Correct.
All right. And then the next slide says, great home too. You see that?
Mhm.
Who is great?
Moochie Gray.
That's the one that got shot.
He didn't get shot.
Okay, but the one that shoot.
They attempted, yes, they went to the Turkey Drive. They were in the vehicle and then Cornelius pulled off because he didn't feel like it was safe.
And on the next slide, he says Muchina. That's Justin Johnson saying that,
Just referencing Moochie Gray.
right? And the other fellow says, yeah, implying that's him, and then call me, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And then that last one, just for the record, just says pulling up.
Yeah.
Okay. I can take that back, and I'll offer that in evidence as the next exhibit, Your Honor.
And that's extra relevance.
Relevance is they're talking about shooting people, which has nothing to do with Mr. Govan at this point.
And again, it's not good.
Can I see the text? And who is Cuz Risky?
It said MC somebody, I don't know the legal name that I could find. The detective said who it was.
Now, I know I'm not the most hippest person.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't understand this language.
I didn't know what spin the street was, but apparently if you Google it, it says shoot up the place, and that's what the detective actually agreed to. But my point here, Judge, is we've gone through a lot of inferences of addresses and phone numbers and all that,
Okay.
saying Govan's mastermind. You look at, well, mastermind is my word, but you look at the call logs and this, and he must be coordinating everything, is what they've been sort of arguing throughout this trial. My point is Justin Johnson had connections way beyond Mr. Govan, and he's doing all this stuff on his own. That's what I'm trying to show to the jury, that he didn't have to listen to Govan. He already had a direct line to Junk, and he was trying to do other crimes, stealing cars, telling them where people were so they could be shot. He's a PRE member, and that's been going on.
Based on that argument, I understand why you asked to enter the previous exhibit 26,
Yes, Your Honor.
but I don't necessarily understand what that argument has to do with this.
It's essentially the same thing where he's tipping them off where they are. Remember, Mucci is a PRE member. They're out there to get PRE folks. And we've already established on July 1st that let Juke know we're going to do this. Now we're going out after other PRE member. That's the whole point. It's never going to say, hey, we are going to kill somebody.
Well, I understand that.
But there have been a ton of inferences of who called who, everything else with arrows and slides that the government did.
Let me see the last one. Right there.
The last exhibit is a little bit more direct, but you remember they said we have to go find people, and that's what Cornelius Smith spent a day talking about. We went riding and looking for people since August 13th and things like that. We were going to kill whoever. There was a price on everybody's head. It was just random. That's my point. They're tipping them off, and it's got nothing to do.
They are tipping who?
Justin Johnson's tipping off other colleagues, and Govan is controlling it, which is what Cornelius says, Govan controlled everything.
Is Duke a PRE?
Yes, he's PRE. That's the person they're referencing that they see.
Right, that's what I was trying to clean up.
It's grape, it's also Mucci grape, so that's why you have grape and Mucci.
Okay.
Can I see the text messages, the last one?
I'm sure she's got a little there.
You can, I'm not reading on the right this thing. I'm reading the first one.
She's reading the first one, not the one that has the video.
You want to make a copy of them so we can all have a copy right this second, or let me see? Miss Taylor,
I can.
let the deputy go in.
How many you need? two. Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you all of them, so.
Two copies.
Yeah, and then take this one too. Thank you.
I'm gonna give these back to you because you know what they are.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's still working on one or two more, but these are the first ones.
Okay.
So, those are copies. And I'm gonna give, you can actually give me a copy.
I just want you to follow over the green and the blue. It's going to be easier for black and white.
But I want the witness to testify. Okay. Give me copies for that. What you can do is Mr. Aurora,
Yes, Your Honor.
do me a favor, the one that's still right on the top,
Yes, Your Honor.
the first text on the right is that blue or green. So I know,
Yes, that's in green. And
that's green.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then the other one that you gave me,
And what's the date on it, Your Honor?
the text message says August 22nd, 21.
Okay, got it.
And then the other one that's July 28th or 21,
Yes, Your Honor.
that blue or green.
Correct. And it should say 30137, the first text in green. Is that correct?
Wait.
July 28th, that's the one you're looking at right now.
July 28th or 21 at 301:37, right?
Yes,
Is that blue or green?
that is green, Your Honor.
I just kind of need to know so I can keep up.
I mean, it's still on there.
That's
I know you need to.
Little nigga, the streets is talking. The streets is talking. The streets is talking. The streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. The streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. The streets is talking. You better watch what you say to them. You better watch what you say to them. You better watch what you say to them. Nigga, the better watch what you say. Houdini by both for the bag. I'm praying my dog gon' wag. I heard the street the talking. I cannot take it no longer.
Alright, are you ready? Y'all ready, Dorothy?
Yes, sure.
So the objection has been made to the two other, text message trails from Justin Jones.
Johnson,
Justin Johnson.
could you tell me which dates yours and favorite mark them yet, Your Honor?
One is on July 28th of 21, and one is on August 22nd of 2021.
Yes, sure.
Okay. The court has already admitted into evidence the one from July 9th.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Taylor has made the objection as to why this is irrelevant when you try to intervene in the evidence. And your response is?
The government's theory in this whole case is Mr. Govan has hired these two individuals to go shoot PRA members, and they're doing it as his direction, even though Joke's the hire for whatever he's doing. My position is Mr. Johnson has his own connections, is doing it on his own, and therefore I'm trying to break the chain of the conspiracy, at least cast doubt on that, because there are clear text messages where he's identifying PRA members to other people. Either he's going to shoot them himself, as in shoot up the block, or we see Muchi Bekwu and they say pulling up. Whether the shooting took place or not, if you don't fire your gun, apparently it's not a shooting. I'm still scared to play points a gun, but my point is this is happening and undercuts this whole theory that Govan's sort of the ringleader of all this kind of stuff. That's what I'm trying to get at, because he's doing it over and over again in the exact conspiracy timeframe on his own.
Ms. Dale, your response?
Actually, stay with we'll withdraw our objection.
Uh-oh, that's something. Let's get in trouble.
So we ready to bring the jury back in?
Yes, ma'am.
You can tell the witness to come back in. Please. We can bring the jury.
You understand? that one coming in. Okay, that's it.
This way.
Mr. Aurora, don't forget to have those text messages, that's what we were doing when she was just here.
Correct.
Ready, Your Honor?
Yes. Sure.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm gonna re-offer the 4-page text message chain from July 28th, 2021 that we were discussing in front of the jury momentarily.
This is a 4-page document with text messages, and it's been identified as text messages from between Justin Johnson and
Cuz Risky, the detective was kind enough to give me his real name, but I don't remember.
Casey Williams.
Casey Williams.
Casey Williams. We're gonna mark this as exhibit 27.
Your Honor, I'll go ahead and do the next exhibit just for brevity's sake. I'm going to actually let's just go with this. I think I've got all the paper to confuse myself. So let's just go with exhibit 28. Excuse me, 27. Robert, would you do me the honor? Can I publish it here?
Yeah.
I know y'all can't see, but you'll have this with you. Okay, the 1625, Robert, you'll scoot you down just a little, please. That's Justin Johnson, right?
Is that the same text that we?
Yeah, I just showed you.
That's Justin Johnson.
And you know his last four are 1625?
Correct.
Okay. And Cuz Risky, his real name is?
Casey Williams.
Casey Williams. All right, so Justin says, okay, we talked about this, don't see normal. Route there now, I think Shad know where the hoe at. I seen him over there before, I think. Route meaning paper route.
Paper route loop.
Okay. And so that's a PRE member.
Correct.
And there's a beef between PRE and CMG.
Correct.
Okay. On the next slide, we've established that they've seen paper woo, as you said. The question, don't see normal, And then the next one is if y'all get a steamer or some, I guess LMKs let me know on cash, you out, I need some. And steamer was a stolen car, right?
Correct.
All right. And then the next text was Grape Home 2, and that's Moochie Grape.
Yes.
That's a PRE artist as well?
Correct.
Okay. And then Justin says Moochina, again, Moochie Grape, PRE number?
Correct.
Okay. And then we have a yeah, and we have a call me. And then we have a next page, please, Robert. It just says pulling up, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And again, nobody got shot on that occasion, but that's,
Well, they attempted to shoot, he was providing more than that. Oh, sorry. Casey Williams was providing a lot of information to Justin Johnson on PRE members. I think he was screenshotting Terrence Baker's calls and sending them to him. He sent him Terrence Baker's father's address. And those are intertwined with the messages you were sending. He was providing information to Justin on PRE members.
okay, perfect. Deputy Sergeant, you get your steps. Two-page exhibit. It is text messages from Justin Johnson to Joke, and we can explain who that is. Okay, can I get that back? And that looked true and accurate from the Justin Johnson phone that you reviewed? Okay, I'll just offer that as a next.
He needs to testify to what we're.
Okay, all right, let's keep it
No,
there.
no, very good, no, got to testify to that.
Justin Johnson text, I was just chopping it up with Jook. My phone was in the car, baby, right?
Correct.
All right. Chopping it up with Jook means what?
I'm assuming he's saying he's been talking to Joe.
Okay. Could chopping it up mean hanging out with somebody?
Generally means you're conversating.
Okay. And this was on July 31st, 2021, correct?
Correct.
All right, and this is true and accurate from the downloads, I guess you did from Justin's phone? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, can I offer that in the evidence there?
Any objection? This is a extraction report. It's been testified that these are text messages from Justin Johnson, the 1625 number to who's he, anything with you?
I'm unaware of who it is. I think in the thread it seemed like it was a female. I'm not sure who she was.
It's a two-page document. We'll end this. What date did you say this was? It says July 31st.
Yes, Your Honor.
July 31st. We'll mark this as exhibit 28.
I took the other exhibits, so I'm guessing it's 28. Well, I'm just gonna publish it, so we can put it in the machine. May I publish this? All right. This is what we just talked about. I was just chopping it up with Jook. My phone was in car baby, right?
Right.
And playing baby's girlfriend. He's got several, right? That's what
That's what I'm assuming, but I don't know.
and that was, July 31st, 2021, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's it. So let me know when you guys are done with the other one. I thought you made you. Okay. All right, I'm now going to show, without tripping, the witness a 3-page text message chain, if you could, please. Oh, crap, I hope the witness is getting my copy just so I can properly authenticate it. So I can go over the text messages.
I mean, I don't remember these text messages, but they're in Justin's phone. So.
I'm not being aggressive, I'm just gonna come up here since I don't have another copy. All right, these are the text messages from August 25th of 2021, right? Okay. And Justin tells J-U-U, just pulled up onto Privé, right?
That's what he said.
Okay, Privé is the club that Jook owns, right?
Yeah, it's a restaurant I think he owned with his mother.
Okay, but it's a CMG restaurant,
I would
or
say
a
it's
Jook restaurant.
Anthony Mims is the restaurant that he owns with his mother.
Okay. And then the calls go on, not so much, but he's just talking about he's going out with Jook.
Now,
I
is
don't,
the attorney testifying or the witness testifying?
Well, he's not asking questions.
all right, this is a conversation between
So,
Justin Johnson and Jook.
do you not have another copy of it?
I don't, because I get my other color copy, so. Here. What is the next one? Just go to the next page. We talked about going to,
Are we entering this in evidence? Was it already in evidence? Is it a
He's
question?
testifying about it, so it can be entered in the evidence, I assume.
But he's
Correct.
reading it so the jury's hearing that.
He's identified them as text messages from Justin Johnson. He said he didn't necessarily remember the text messages themselves, but you knew that they were text messages from Justin Johnson, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So,
I'm looking to offer that into evidence, Your Honor.
and so should be testifying about what's in the message.
And that's what I was doing. I just need you to enter it into evidence. I'm gonna move into it, or if you want to go over what.
I want you to go over what's in there.
Okay. So he's talking to Jew, maybe it's, and it's not a racial source, J-U-U is what it says. And he's
Why don't
talking,
you get him to explain what they say?
What
Get him
does
to
this
read
say?
it and explain it.
All right,
Says,
read it.
I'm here to FW Jook. I'm here to go out.
what is F, tell us what that means in
I
English.
would assume that means fuck with.
Okay, that means hang out with.
Yes.
Okay, what's the next text message say?
The next text message says, I have on no clothes.
Okay, the next one,
Bring yo ass home.
okay, go to the next one.
And then it's a response from Jew, which is need to take your ass home with 2 explanations.
All right. This is a conversation between Justin Johnson and you about him being at pre-vet and not having the right clothes. He needs to go home.
Yeah, you can surmise that, it sounds like.
I'll offer that as evidence, Your Honor.
And I'll object on the relevance. I don't know what Mr. Johnson's clothes has on, has anything to do with anything that we talked about, ever.
He's spending time with Joe. The whole issue is Mr. Govan controls everything in this case, and Justin.
I didn't know that this was Jook we were talking about. You
Yeah,
said JUU.
That's to his girlfriend that he's hanging out with Jook on that date. That's where he says, I'm FW with Jook.
I don't know that. And see, the part of the problem is that the witness testified when he said that this text message on the beginning of the page 2, I'm here to FW is Jook. I ain't here to go out.
Right.
The witness testified, you asked, does that mean I'm here hanging out with Jook? And he said it could just mean I'm here to F with Jook, I think is what he said, or something like that.
Yes, sir.
That's two separate things.
Okay, I'm misinterpreting what the slang means on there. My whole point is he's spending time with Jook on his own back in August. So if it's FW, if I'm mistaken about what it means, or just spending time with.
I don't necessarily know that that's what this means.
Okay. I don't either. That's why I asked the witness, and he said that's just essentially what fuck with means, right?
Yeah.
And that is next exhibit, 28. 29.
All right, for the sake of everybody's sanity, I'm just gonna stop with the text message and just a couple more questions and call it a day, okay?
I'm here.
All right. With regards to, we've already established the last time Justin talked or contacted Govan, we talked about the 2 weeks, all that stuff, in a couple of days with regards to Chronology, so I'm not gonna rehash that, but with specifically regards to Justin talking to Jook on the 16th, he did make a phone call on the 16th, correct?
I'd have to see it again.
I highlighted for you the time and everything. I just pulled the actual page.
Did you change the time frame or anything?
You just tell me if I've done something wrong, you tell me.
No, because it's sometimes people will take records, it appears to be on Excel, and they'll actually roll them back themselves. I was just making sure.
Oh.
It shows on 11/16/2021 at 17:37, 15 hours. Looks like a 331 second outgoing call from Justin Johnson to Anthony Mims.
Right, and you did that much nicer on your slideshow. I just sort of went in and downloaded the actual CDR thing to show all the parts and lines. So Justin Johnson and Anthony Mims had a 6-minute call the day before the murder, the evening before the murder.
Well, it would have been, assuming that these haven't been rolled back, it would have been 12:37.
Okay. But there's no dispute based on yours. I don't know if it's UTC plus or minus 6. They communicated for 6 some odd minutes the day before the murder. 300 something seconds, you said.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. And you're also aware that Justin sent Jook a turkey emoji the night of the 16th. You're not aware of that?
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't, I'm just saying I'm not aware.
Okay, I'm not accusing you of anything, I'm just. If we could approach the witness, please. Objection.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
It's a text message from Justin to Juke the night before the murder. Are we approaching it?
I thought this was next to the.
No,
Can you approach, please?
Page document.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, this is a text from Justin Johnson to Juke.
Can he testify about that, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Who are the texts from?
So it's from Justin Johnson to Anthony Mims.
And I know there's more than one text, but I'm concerned about the one on record.
I'm starting with the first one. It was on August 13th at 12:56 a.m.
Would you look at it again? Are you sure it's not November 13th?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, November 13th. Okay, I'm sorry. 12:56 a.m. And it says, bro, we got put squeeze on Wicked. That video ain't really shit.
Right, and the next one, if you could escape, that's the one I'm worried about, is the next one, the one from the 16th. If you could review that, please.
Okay. November 16th, 2021, 4:37. It's Justin Johnson sending looks like a turkey emoji to Anthony Mims.
And so that's the only page I would offer, and that looks like that came from Justin Johnson's phone based on the numbers, and that's Juke's number that it goes to, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we don't need the second page, I was just doing a large version of that, Your Honor. So just the first page is all we're looking to admit.
Any objection?
You want this too?
No, just give her, I'll take it back, but we just admit the first page. Get that back to you, please. Thank you.
This is text messages from Justin Johnson to George's phone. And the second message on the page appears to be a emoji sent on November 16th, 2021. We'll mark this as Exhibit 30.
And could I publish that, Your Honor? And I know it's hard to see, but that's the text message that Justin sent to Joe the day before the murder.
The turkey emoji, yes.
Okay, thank you. Take it down. So we've only discussed all the hardware store and all the other stuff. With regards to Jook, did you all ever try to interview Jook?
Yes.
When did you try to do that?
When we executed a search warrant on his phone
Okay,
when he was at the airport.
okay. It wasn't annotated that you had talked to him anywhere in the police reports. The lead detective said you guys never reached out to him. Is that incorrect?
I can tell you that they asked him, wanted to talk. Obviously, he said nothing to talk.
Okay, and did we do anything else after that?
We wrote a search warrant and we did the phone extract.
So the suspect that Mr. Cornelius said may have paid for his legal fees, all this other testimony we've heard, you went, even though the lead detective didn't know, you specifically went to talk to him and you said, no, I don't want to make a statement. That's just my Fifth Amendment right.
Yeah, we executed a search warrant at the airport. I forget who it was, but somebody, either Friot or someone communicated with him to say, hey, we're gonna talk. We knew what his response was gonna be, and we knew what attorney he was gonna tell us to talk to.
Okay, I get all that. Do defendants occasionally exercise their Fifth Amendment rights and keep their mouth shut?
100%.
So you don't quit on the investigation just because they won't talk to you. You continue, right?
100%.
And in this case, Cornelius is giving you specifics about what Jook did. You've got text messages from Justin Johnson about what Jook did. But there was no follow-up, not being mean or anything else. That whoever went to the airport, that was it with regards to Jook.
I don't get to make the decisions
Okay.
on what happens to him.
I'm not asking who makes the decision. They're saying that was it. There's nothing else done with regards to Jook.
Yes, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, that's what we were doing.
Okay. I'll let it be. I think I get it.
Let go, let go, let go, let go. If you can hear my voice, let me know in the chat right now. You wrapping up. If you can hear my voice, let me know in the chat. So it looks like they talking to the judge. They seeing if they're gonna admit this into evidence. Which so far today, everything has been going into evidence quite smoothly. Let's go over everything that happened today. Salute to everybody that we went live 3 times. Salute to everybody that subscribed to the channel. Salute to everybody that's still rocking. Now look, so today I stand corrected. The young lady that took the stand this morning was not the baby mama. That was just the girlfriend. So I stand corrected. That was not the baby mama. That was just a girlfriend. Now, it was interesting, her testimony, and the most important part to me that was interesting is the fact that she couldn't recall a few things that she made in her statement. But she said so much that corroborated what Cornelius, her better half, her boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, was saying in his testimony. Now, when it comes to the cross examination, when I think about that, how did his lawyer do on the cross with the cross testimony with the girl witness today? He did better than yesterday. Yesterday it was ridiculous. He was insulting his client and some more. Now, this is only day 2 of the trial. Interesting to see how they started it. They started the trial with Cornelius, one of the trip man, one of the gunmen, and the unalivened Adolph Dorton, aka Young Dolph, in the city of Memphis. Now, they got this out-of-town lawyer taking up for Govan. One thing about it that nobody talking about, Govan gets to go home at the end of the day because Govan is on bond. All right, Govan is on bond. Now, it seems like him and his lawyer are using a technique that we have seen before. They're using a technique called put it on the dead man. Put the blame on the dead man. He's not here anymore. It's seeming as though things are leading up exactly to Jook, who is no longer with us. As you can see in the evidence that's being entered, text messages, which corroborates the testimony of Cornelius when he said they was in the car and they FaceTime Jook and they was spelling.
You guys go enjoy your evening. Don't talk about things and testimony. And we'll be back here in the morning at 9:30 and we will work all day. So enjoy your evening.
Go do 9:30 tomorrow. Now, let me see if I can find his face, y'all. I just wanted to get a clip of his face expression. All right, so when this young lady right here came, would look like a boot, like she limped in today and took the stand. Right now, she backed up everything that was said in the prior testimony, as far as her being the one to pick Straight Drop, aka Justin Johnson, and Cornelius Smith, aka Lil C, up from the apartments. According to Cornelius, aka Little C, Hernandez Govan was the middleman that put the play together between Jook, big brother of another legend in Memphis, Yo Gotti. CMG is a name that we keep hearing come up. It's been speculation, controversy. People saying this and people saying that. Will they be implicated? Well, we heard Jook name how many times today, folks? They even went and spoke on his smoke shop that he had. Allegedly a meeting spot. They went and showed us text messages, cell towers, which we already know how to cell tower. If you and see, assume, I don't like to assume that we know, because Just when you think everybody know that cell towers and how cell towers work, we always end up coming right back to the cell towers and how cell towers work, right? So we seen cell tower evidence corroborating the testimony of Cornelius when he said, "That's me." When he pointed to himself and his co-defendant, Justin Johnson, as you can see in the artwork down at the bottom of the screen. Broad daylight. Okay? So he basically is telling every detail of what everybody was wondering what happened. Now, here's the thing, family. Even though Govan wasn't standing over Dolph that day, today he does stand trial in front of 12 jurors of his peers. And the thing is, they saying that Govan is guilty, but he's pleading innocent. Let me know, chat, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as we go through this case day by day and break this all the way down. Is Govan gonna get away with this? Being the middleman. Is the middleman important, or is the people who actually did the deed? Well, we got to talk about that. If you didn't know, we got to go revisit yesterday, where we seen why they bit the bait. Because Govan advertised, they say it was something like a catalog. He had knowledge to money, dollar amounts on different people's tops, headpieces, livelihoods. And just when you thought it was speculation and hearsay, they came with the evidence, y'all. You seen today the detective explain a few details, and you see the person who worked at the jail who does the retrievals of the information. They told you exactly how data works, and that's when you thought the data was lost, it can and will be found and used against you in the court of law. Was the testimony that we heard today enough, y'all, to build a case against one Hernandez Govan? We already seen Justin Johnson. I've seen a few people come into the room today and say, I thought this was over with. That was just part one, phase one. This is the sequel. This time is Hernandez Govan's turn because he's been implicated as a mastermind. Now, what's so crazy about all of this is, again, I'm about to land my plane, that Govan is being accused as a mastermind, and Juk would have definitely been a co-conspirator implicating a particular side. Do you understand me? But being that he is no longer with us, it's looking like they trying to just put everything on him. Who can corroborate that he actually sent money? Those are details that we're still waiting to see. Did anybody actually get paid? Until then, y'all stay blessed, man. Y'all stay safe out there. Thank you again for hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel. We going up. Anything, I'm gonna read the comments before I get anything that anybody want to type or say. I'm gonna read that before we leave. So what do y'all think so far about this entire situation, man? Is Govan going to jail? I seen people come in and say different things. Throw away the key. I seen another person say he should definitely probably should feel the death penalty for what he done. Prayers to the family that's inside the courtroom, hours upon hours watching this, getting the final closure that they so rarely deserve, because at the end of the day, he was only buying cookies at a local black store in Memphis, supporting his own people, buying some cookies for his mother. And then they ran down on him. The rest was history. We would see Straight Drop go on a run. We would see him go as far as having his brother pretend with his phone that he was still in the state while he flee the state on the run, because he knew what he had done. It's a low down, dirty shame. Straight Drop is now spending life without a chance to ever be free again. He will be given a bedtime, a time to eat, a time to shower for the rest of his life. It's out of there. Now, what do y'all feel before I get out of here? What do y'all feel should happen with Cornelius? Cornelius, boy. You hell, ain't you? What happens when your shooter what happens when the shooters go bad? Start telling everything. Without his testimony, would this case be solved? Some can say, yeah, because they were so stupid. They were so sloppy that, of course, it would have still got solved without him telling he should definitely rot in jail with the rest of them. But would Govan be on trial? Would Jook have been implicated? And where do it goes from here? Salute to everybody that came in, man. It's the host, the biggest, man. Your boy Gundini. We're going to be back again tomorrow. So you subscribe and make sure you got all post notifications on so you can get the notification the next time I go live. It's been a long day, man. Long live Dolph. Prayers up for his family, for his children, as they go through these hard times, man, and basically get the closure again that they surely do deserve. Appreciate everybody that hit that like button on the way out. And as we get the content, we're going to keep breaking it down. It's a lot to take in, I ain't going to lie. Whole lot of lives wasted. But I think they got a good start to this. For sure. Let me see them Dolphins as we get up out of here, for sure.
Little nigga, the streets is talking. The streets is talking. The streets is talking. The streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. The streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. The streets is talking. You better watch what you say to them. You better watch what you say to them. You better watch what you say to them. Nigga, the streets is talking. Nigga, the streets is talking. Little the streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. Little nigga, the streets is talking. You better watch what you say to them. You better watch what you say. You better watch what you say to them. You better.
Real talk, what you gon' do when the